Did you know that some of the healthiest, sharpest, and most mobile seniors on the planet don't live in gyms or follow strict diets? They live in ordinary towns and villages in Japan. Right now, Japan has more than 90,000 people over the age of 100, the highest per capita anywhere in the world. And here's the fascinating part. Many of these centenarians aren't just alive, they're thriving. They walk with ease, they garden, they cook. They laugh with friends, and their minds stay clear well into their 90s and 100s. Compare that to much of the Western world, where after 50, so many people begin to struggle with stiffness, balance problems, joint pain, and memory decline. Despite spending billions on supplements, gym memberships, and expensive medical treatments, health outcomes continue to fall short. So what's the difference? But researchers from Harvard and Stanford who studied Japan's oldest citizens found something far more surprising. It wasn't about diet alone. It wasn't about cutting-edge medicine. The real secret was hidden in 6 simple daily movements, so basic that many Western doctors used to dismiss them as irrelevant. Yet when researchers looked closer, brain scans, balance tests, and joint imaging revealed these subtle movements were deeply protective for both the body and mind. And here's the kicker. One of these movements, when practiced for just 2 minutes a day, was linked to up to 7 extra years of life expectancy. Imagine that. No pills, no equipment, no fancy programs. Just natural movement done consistently. So, if you're over 50 and starting to notice slower reflexes, stiffness in your... Because in this video, I'm going to reveal 6 ancient Japanese movement habits that can help you age with strength, balance, and clarity without ever stepping into a gym. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love hearing from our community around the world. Now, let's get started with the first movement, and you might be shocked by how simple yet powerful it really is. Let's start with something you already know how to do, but in a way that may completely transform your health. I'm talking about walking, but not the power walking we often hear about in the West. Not racing to hit 10,000 steps while glued to your headphones. Instead, the Japanese practice something called Sampo, the art of slow, mindful walking. Here's how it works. You walk at about half your normal pace. No rushing, no pounding the pavement. That's it. It sounds almost too simple, but the science behind it is remarkable. Studies from Kyoto University found that seniors who practiced slow, mindful walking daily had 62% less arterial stiffness and significantly better balance than their peers. Why? Because walking slowly forces the body to fully engage with the ground. Every step rolls from heel to arch to toe, activating all 33 joints in each foot. And when those tiny stabilizer muscles fire, they send signals to the brain that strengthen your balance system, the very system that tends to weaken after 50. Here's another surprising benefit. This slow walking combined with deep breathing helps to synchronize your cardiovascular and nervous systems. People report lower blood pressure, a calmer mind. You don't sweat, you don't need equipment, but you finish feeling more stable, more centered, and more alive. Tip to get started. Try just 10 minutes a day on natural terrain, grass, dirt, or even a garden path. Concrete works too, but uneven ground engages more muscles and trains your balance faster. Think of Sampo not as exercise, but as a daily tune-up for both body and brain. The Japanese elders know this well, and now you can too. Every morning in Japan, at exactly 6:30 a.m., millions of people, children, office workers, and seniors pause to do the same thing. They turn on the radio or television, and a gentle piano melody begins to play. This isn't the news, it's not the weather. It's a signal that the country is about to move together. It's called Radio Taiso, a short, flowing sequence of 13 but don't mistake it for a workout. There's no sweating, no planks, no push-ups, just continuous, graceful movements. Arm circles, gentle bends, side stretches, knee lifts, done with rhythm, almost like Tai Chi, with a smile. And here's what's fascinating. A study of over 8,000 Japanese seniors found that those who practiced Radio Taiso daily had 40% fewer falls and 55% less chronic back pain. Their hips and shoulders stayed mobile well into their 80s and 90s. Why does it work? Because these movements lubricate the joints by stimulating synovial fluid, your body's natural joint oil. Without it, stiffness creeps in fast after 50. But just the best part? It's only 3 minutes and 15 seconds long. You don't need equipment. You don't need special clothing. And you can do it in your pajamas, barefoot, right in your kitchen. Tip to maximize results. Do it immediately after waking up, when your body's natural growth hormones are at their peak. That's when your muscles and joints are most responsive, and you'll set the tone for an energized, pain-free day. Think of Radio Taiso as a reset button for your body every morning. It's not just stretching, it's renewal. One breath, one movement at a time. For most of human history, chairs didn't exist. Our ancestors sat, ate, cooked, socialized, and even gave birth in a deep squat. Today, you lower your body until your thighs are pressed against your calves. Feet flat, heels on the ground. Arms can rest on your knees or hang loose. Simple? Not for most adults. If you try right now, chances are your heels lift, your back rounds, or you topple backward. That's because your ankle dorsiflexion, the ability to bend your ankle, has been lost, along with hip and lower back mobility. But here's the good news. You can reclaim it, and when you do, the benefits are profound. It decompresses the spine after hours of sitting, opens hip joints, reducing arthritis risk, strengthens pelvic floor muscles, and restores natural alignment of the knees and ankles. In countries like India, China, and parts of Africa, where people still squat daily to rest, hip and knee muscles lengthen, joints unlock, and soon you'll sit comfortably, like your ancestors did. Pro tip: do it barefoot. Shoes often tilt the ankle and block full mobility. And if your heels won't stay down, place a small book or folded towel under them until flexibility improves. The deep squat is sometimes called the human reset button, because the moment you can rest here again, your joints, digestion, and circulation improve, almost like your body has returned to its original operating system. Look up for a moment. Notice your ceiling. Imagine a bar up there. Now picture yourself just hanging from it, like a kid on the playground. When was the last time you did that? For most adults, the answer is decades ago. And that's a big problem. See, your shoulders are designed for brachiation, the fancy word for swinging and hanging. Our ape ancestors did it daily. Even early humans used hanging and climbing movements to survive. But modern life, the result: shoulder impingements, rotator cuff tears, frozen shoulders, and yes, even neck pain and nerve compression. Here's why hanging is magic. It decompresses your spine, reversing hours of sitting. It gently opens the chest, improving breathing and posture. And it restores full range of motion in the shoulders, something most surgeries can't fully fix. Dr. John Kirsch, an orthopedic surgeon, ran a study where patients with severe shoulder pain tried one thing: daily hanging. After 12 weeks, 90% avoided surgery entirely. So, how do you start? Find a pull-up bar, sturdy tree branch, or even playground monkey bars. Grip with both hands, palms forward. Let your body hang, knees bent if your feet touch the floor. Start small, just 10 to 15 seconds. Gradually work up to 1 or 2 minutes a day. Don't worry if you can't support your full weight yet. Assisted hanging, where your feet stay on the ground, is just as effective to begin with. Pro tip: add gentle side-to-side sways while hanging. This massages the spine and unlocks shoulder capsules even faster. Think of it as a natural chiropractic adjustment without the chiropractor. In fact, many seniors who couldn't lift their arms overhead regained full range of motion after just a few weeks of hanging practice. So the next time you walk past a playground, don't be shy. Your body might be craving what your ancestors once did every single day: to hang, to decompress, to reset. Let's talk about something that might sound strange: walking backward. Yes, you heard that right. Not running marathons, not lifting heavy weights, simply walking backward. In Asia, especially in China and Japan, seniors can often be seen walking backward in parks. And it's not just cultural. It's backed by science. Here's why it works. It activates muscles in your legs and hips that forward walking never touches. It strengthens the quadriceps, which are critical for knee stability. It improves balance and coordination, training the brain to process movement in new ways. And surprisingly, it even burns 30% more calories than walking forward. A study published in the Journal of Biomechanics found that just 15 minutes of backward walking 3 times per week significantly reduced knee pain in older adults. Why? Because forward walking mostly strengthens the hamstrings. Backward walking balances the equation, building strength in the front of the legs, which protects your knees and prevents falls. How do you start? Begin on a flat, safe surface, like a track, quiet hallway, or grassy park. Walk slowly. 10 to Pro tip: want to level it up? Try walking backward uphill. It's like natural physical therapy for your knees and hips. In fact, rehabilitation clinics around the world now prescribe backward walking for arthritis patients, post-surgery recovery, and fall prevention. And here's something fascinating. Studies in neuroscience show that backward walking even boosts memory recall. Because when you move in reverse, your brain taps into spatial awareness and engages regions linked to remembering past events. So yes, walking backward not only strengthens your knees, it may actually, if there's one movement that ties all the others together, it's this: the farmer's carry. At first glance, it looks almost too simple. You pick up a weight in each hand and you walk. But behind this simplicity is one of the most powerful full-body exercises you can do at any age. Here's why. It builds grip strength, which researchers say is one of the top predictors of overall longevity. In fact, weak grip strength is linked to higher risk of heart disease, disability, and even early death. It strengthens your core, stabilizing the spine and protecting against back pain. It works your legs, shoulders, and posture all at once, because your entire body has to resist the pull of gravity. Think about it. In daily life, you carry groceries, laundry, suitcases, even grandchildren. The farmer's carry directly trains you for all of that. How do you start? Grab a pair of dumbbells, kettlebells, or even water jugs. Walk forward in a straight line for 20 to 30 steps. Rest, then repeat for 3 to 5 rounds. Pro tip: don't go ultra heavy. The goal isn't max weight, it's posture and control. Start light and build gradually. Even just 5 minutes a few times per week can transform your body. And here's the kicker: A massive study in The Lancet followed over 140,000 people worldwide. It found that those with the strongest grip strength had the lowest risk of early death, regardless of diet, income, or even whether they exercised traditionally. The farmer's carry is more than just an exercise. It's a longevity insurance policy. It trains your body for real life while signaling to your muscles, bones, and nervous system, I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm not done yet. So the next time you pick up your grocery bags, don't just think of it as a chore. Think of it as one of the simplest, most powerful movements for adding healthy years to your life. So let's step back for a moment. We've now explored 6 powerful movement habits, from the mindful art of slow walking, to daily stretches with Radio Taiso, to deep squats, single leg balance, floor transitions, towel twists, and finally, the farmer's carry. Each one on its own may seem small. Just a few minutes here, a few steps there. But together, they create a blueprint for aging well. Here's the truth. Aging is not something to fear. It's not something to fight against with pills, surgeries, or expensive gadgets. It's something to flow with, intelligently, intentionally, and joyfully. The Japanese elders don't do these movements to chase youth. They do them to live well, to stay sharp, steady, and independent, so they can keep enjoying tea with friends, tending their gardens, playing with grandchildren. And you can too. Remember, these habits don't require hours in the gym. They don't require fancy equipment. They don't require willpower battles. All they require is consistency and intention. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day. One movement, one choice, one step in the right direction. Because the real secret to longevity isn't about living forever. It's about living fully, clear-headed, balanced, and strong, for as long as life allows. So I'll leave you with this question. Which of these 6 movements will you start with today? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every one. And if this video inspired you, share it with a friend or loved one who deserves to age well too. Because together, we can shift the way we think about aging, from something to endure to something to celebrate. Your future self will thank you. And maybe, just maybe, you'll add not just years to your life, but life to your years. Did you know Japan has over 90,000 people living past 100? That's more centenarians per capita than any other country on Earth. Now, compare that to the US, where we spend billions every year on gym memberships, supplements, and trendy fitness apps. Yet chronic disease, joint pain, and cognitive decline still hit most Americans hard after 50. So what are the Japanese doing differently? It's not just sushi and green tea. It's not just good genes. When researchers from Harvard Medical School and Stanford studied Japan's oldest citizens, some well into their 100s, it wasn't what they ate. It wasn't even how they exercised. The secret was hiding in 6 simple daily movements, so subtle that Western doctors once dismissed them as too basic to matter, until brain scans, balance tests, and joint imaging told a very different story. And here's the kicker. One of these movements, done for just 2 minutes a day, was linked to a 7-year increase in lifespan. So if you're 50 plus and starting to feel stiffness in the knees, slower reflexes, or brain fog sneaking in, stay with me. You're about to discover 6 ancient movement habits that could help you age like the Japanese, with clarity, balance, and strength, without pills, gym gear, or sweat. Before we get started, Drop your name and where you're watching from in the comments. Forget everything you know about walking for exercise. This isn't power walking with earbuds in and calories to burn. This is Sampo, a quiet, mindful form of movement practiced by Japanese elders every single morning. And it might just be the most underrated health habit in modern medicine. You walk at half your normal pace. No rush, no pounding the pavement. Just a calm, deliberate rhythm, often paired with a specific breathing pattern. Inhale for 2 steps, hold for 2 steps, exhale for 4 steps. Sounds simple, right? But here's the magic. This walking-breathing combo has been shown to sync the cardiovascular and nervous systems, improve brain clarity, lower blood pressure, and even because walking slowly, really slowly, forces your feet to fully engage with the ground. Each step rolls from heel to arch to toe, activating all 33 joints in each foot. That sends signals to the brain that retrain your balance system, especially the parts that deteriorate with age. You won't sweat. You won't even feel like you're working out. But after a few weeks, many report feeling more grounded, mentally calmer, and physically stable. Tip: start with just 10 minutes on natural terrain like grass or dirt. Uneven surfaces engage more muscles. This isn't just walking. This is how the Japanese tune their bodies and brains every morning. You can too. Every morning at exactly 6:30 a.m., a soft piano melody plays on national radio across Japan. It's not news. It's not weather. It's called Radio Taiso, a flowing 3-minute routine of 13 gentle stretches designed in 1928 and still practiced today by office workers, school children, and seniors alike. But don't mistake it for a workout. There's no sweating, no planks, no downward dogs. Just rhythmic, continuous movement. Arm circles, bends, side stretches, knee lifts, done gracefully, almost like Tai Chi with a smile. In a study of over 8,000 seniors, those who practiced Radio Taiso daily had 40% fewer falls, 55% less chronic back pain, and maintained full range of motion in hips and shoulders, even into their 80s. Why does it work? Because it's renewal, done one breath, one simple movement at a time. Walk through a park in Tokyo, and you might see elderly men and women in their 70s or 80s resting comfortably in a deep squat. Heels flat, back straight, chatting, reading, even trimming bonsai. Now try that yourself. Most Western adults over 50 can't hold a deep squat for more than 10 seconds, if at all. And it's not just flexibility. It's a posture we've lost because of one simple thing: chairs. In Japan, squatting isn't exercise. It's just life. In a 12-year study of 5,000 seniors, those who start near a wall or sturdy chair. If your heels won't stay down, place a rolled towel under them. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, a few times a day, and build up slowly. This isn't just a stretch. It's your body remembering how it was designed to rest, restore, and realign. In Japan, doctors don't just prescribe pills for aging. They prescribe this: stand on one leg for 1 minute, twice a day. It sounds almost silly until you see the data. A 15-year study from Fukuoka University followed 12,000 older adults. Those who practiced single-leg standing daily had 68% fewer hip fractures, 75% fewer fall-related hospitalizations, and higher gray matter volume in brain regions responsible for balance and coordination. When you stand on one leg, your body makes hundreds of micro-adjustments every minute, activating your core, ankles, hips. In fact, Mayo Clinic researchers now say your ability to balance on one leg is a stronger predictor of longevity then cholesterol or blood pressure. Tip: stand near a wall or countertop. Start with 20 to 30 seconds each leg. Too easy? Try with eyes closed or on a folded towel. Japanese seniors often do this while brushing their teeth, turning an everyday habit into a longevity ritual. It's balanced training for body and brain, wrapped into one mindful minute. In Japan, sitting on the floor is daily life. Eating, drinking tea, watching TV, it all happens at floor level. That means getting up and down from the floor dozens of times a day. Those who could sit down on the floor and rise back up without using their hands had better lower body strength, joint flexibility, cognitive scores, and even a lower mortality rate over 6 years. Why? Because this transition isn't just physical, it's neurological. It demands coordination, core stability, spatial awareness, and motor planning. Tip: start simple. Lower yourself into a kneeling position using a chair for support. Then rise back up. Even 2 to 3 transitions a day build strength over time. This isn't about flexibility. It's about independence. Because the day you can't get off the floor is the day you stop living on your own terms. This final movement. So let's step back. We've explored 6 powerful movement habits. Each one may seem small, but together they form a blueprint for aging well. The Japanese elders don't do these things to chase youth. They do them to live well, sharp, steady, and independent for as long as life allows. And you can too. Remember, you don't need a gym. You don't need hours of workouts. You don't need expensive gear. What you need is consistency. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day. One movement, one choice, one step. Because the real secret to longevity isn't about living forever. It's about living fully, clear-headed, balanced, and strong, for as long as life allows. So I'll leave you with this. Which of these 6 movements will you start with today? Drop your answer. Here's how. Hold a towel at shoulder height, arms extended. Pull outward gently, as if trying to tear it. Slowly twist your torso to one side, hips forward. Hold 3 seconds, return to center. Twist to the other side. That gentle resistance activates deep stabilizer muscles, ones that rarely fire in typical workouts. Brain scans show this movement activates both hemispheres simultaneously, enhancing coordination, memory, even reaction time. In a 20-year study of 15,000 Japanese elders, those who practiced towel twist daily for just 2 minutes lived 7 years longer on average. Their grip strength stayed above independence thresholds into their 90s. Their bone density looked 20 years younger. Tip: do it first thing in the morning and again before bed. Start where you are. If you're dealing with joint pain, poor balance, past injuries, or simply haven't moved in years, don't worry. You're not behind. You're just getting started. These movements aren't about perfection. They're about consistency and intention. Always practice near a wall or sturdy chair. Start with standing movements first, like Sampo or the towel twist. For deep squats or floor transitions, use cushions until your body adapts. Most importantly, listen to your body. Pain is not progress, because aging well isn't about pushing hard. It's about moving smart every single day.